Sports Culture Lab. How can I help you? Man, back joining us in the studio for Sports Culture Lab is Ki Kim. Ki, hello to you.
Hey there, how are you?
I got a question for you.
Yes.
I mean, we both like sports. We played sports. If you could choose one sport where you could be a pro athlete in this sport, and you're like world class, what sport would it be to choose?
To choose?
Yeah. So you could be like a pro basketball player, baseball player, football player.
Well, I wish I want to be I wish, because I'm a huge basketball fan, so I want to be a basketball player, but I really want to be a shooter. Gun shooting.
What?
Gun shooting. It's so fun.
Are you mad at the world or something? What?
Are you accusing me of a terrorist?
Wait,
No. The thing is, okay, nearby my house,
Yes.
there's a real gun shooting place.
Yes.
So where you can choose like Magnum 47
Can
or
they,
30.
do they still have that at Lotte World?
Not in Lotte
not
World,
in
because
World.
that's like right next to where the kids normally
Yeah.
play. But
They used to
there's
have
one
it.
in this place called Songpa Havio Park.
Okay.
So there's like real gun shooting there. You
Mm-hmm.
can't. And normally when you go to real gun shooting in Taenung,
Yes.
where the Olympic sports athlete
With
complex
Shinjo
is
back
here.
in the days, yes.
There, you can't normally do the long guns. You know, one of those that you
Rifles?
use like rifles,
Yeah.
right? But here you can do the
Handguns.
Yeah, handguns. So
They used to have one by Lotte World. That
they
you can
got
go
rid of
to.
it.
They got
because,
rid of it.
Yeah, because it's not good for kids.
Yeah,
to
I know. I was
actually
like, I never understood why they had a shooting range at the Lotte
Yeah.
World. But really, you would want to be a professional shooter of all things?
And also at the army, I was I was a 특등사수.
Oh, really?
I got like 19 out of 20 all the time. 20, or 1920.
So why didn't you go to try for the Olympics?
I was too old. And then those bullets are very expensive.
That's true.
So once you go, you get 10 shots of handguns, right? Depending on which one you use. But Magnum 47, I think it's like $50 or something.
Yeah, I remember
just
it being
try
really
10 of them.
expensive.
Yeah.
I just never really wanted to shoot anything.
Anybody? Who did you want to shoot? How about you? If you were to choose any sports, what do you want to do?
Any sport? Oh, man, that's a tough one. I would try to go for something that's like where I don't get hurt and
Shooting,
still
you
make a
don't get
lot of
hurt.
money. No, but then like you don't make a lot of money being a professional shooter unless you get like scouted by like KGB or something. Be like a
I can be
an
like
assassin.
no, not. But you can be a teacher, like
I want to make millions and millions and millions. I'll just
NFL.
no way. I get CTE. I'll stuck with baseball. I asked this because it seems like every time the Olympics are around,
Yeah,
many kids all of a sudden want to play this sport.
exactly. And even idols.
And idols
The
too.
Idol Olympics, they always play this.
It's iconic with especially the female idols.
Exactly.
We're talking about archery.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why we're talking about archery because South Korea continues to do this. They excel in archery. What happened recently?
So arguably, we can say the Republic of Korea is the best
Yep.
nation to, lead in this sports. So at the Hyundai Archery World Cup Stage 4 that was held in Madrid, Spain this July, Korea won both men's and women's recurve team titles once again, and we are the strongest team in the entire world.
Yes, that's for real.
Right, so Kim Woo-jin, Kim Jae-deok, and Lee Woo-seok, if you are a fan of archery and if you follow the game, then you probably know these people
Yep.
because they played in 2021 Olympics, last Olympic, and one of them they played on Olympic before. I believe that was Kim Woo-jin. So they defeated France 5-3, and they also won stage 2 and stage 3. The women's team with Kang Chae-young, Lee Yoon-ji, and Oh Ye-jin, they're fairly newbies. They won against the United States 5-1. So they're dominant, right?
Yeah.
And in the compound division, the women's team won bronze and the country's only medal in that category. And Park Jung-yoon, another national player, she had in a round of 48, she had 150.
That's a perfect score.
Yeah, that's perfect score. And then the opponents had 147,
which is really good.
now normally 147. You're like three points, less than the perfect points. Which normally takes you to the next level or
Yes.
next round, obviously, but she just had 150.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine, like in basketball terms, right? You score 50 points.
Right, 50, 60 points.
You go, oh my goodness! And then someone answers with 83 points.
Will Chamberlain, 110 points.
So, this is incredible.
So do you know the difference between the recurve division and compound division.
It's the way that the bows are, no?
Right. That's right. So the recurve is more of a traditional one, which
Yeah.
we only use it for the Olympics. So it requires more strength because there's no cam wheel on the top
Yep.
to hold the string, whereas the compound is more, it's a newer one where it has a wheel on the top to carry the strength.
Yeah.
So it's a bit easier, more accurate, but Korea, of course, is the strongest in the recurve division.
You know what's crazy is that, I mean, we'll talk about it later on and why it's so difficult to become a national team member. But like the men's team, Kim Woo-jin, Kim Jae-deok, Lee Woo-seok, like I recognize all those names. Can I be honest with you? I don't really recognize the women's team because they constantly change.
They constantly change. Yeah.
There's constantly better players that are coming out, and it's like
Every year. It's not like Team Kim for the curling.
yeah. No, it's crazy. And of course, we have a historic moment that happened, right?
So in 2024 Paris Olympic, the Korean women's team won the team gold medal. So we won 10 consecutive gold medal for the Olympics, meaning we've secured the number one position for 40 years.
Yep.
Well, actually 41. 41? No. Well, 40 years, right? And Korea swept all 5 Olympic gold medals and archery that was available. This streak has been there since 1988, and many countries have studied why Korea is so much better, and they study our system to try to copy us, but no one so far had managed to do that. And I don't know if you recall from 98, I believe this was 98 Olympic, where one of our archer players...
2000. Was Athens.
It was Athens,
Yeah.
where we, penetrated the camera that was installed in the right in the middle.
Yeah.
Actually, 2 of them. So
Yeah.
We broke 2 of them. That's how accurate we were. And if you are a fan of archery, you might not be familiar with this name, Kim Sun-young.
She is the most decorated Olympian in Korea's history. I think she's won more medals than any Koreans, I believe.
She's like Michael Jordan of
archery.
And so from age 17 to 21, she won 3 Olympic gold medal, 1 silver medal, and then she won the medals in Asian game, like anything she could do. She had that titles.
Yeah.
At the age of 21. Then all of a sudden she sort of retired. She got 2 kids, and she was having happily, married life, right? And then later on, the Archer Association of Korea, they asked her, "Can you come back and teach the young ones?" Right? But then while she was teaching, I guess she got mad.
Really?
Because I think I can do better than those guys.
Oh, come on.
No, the thing is, so she came back at the age of 28, and at the age of 29, she won the national championship in Korea.
Jeez.
She became the Olympian once again, won another gold medal, another bronze medal, and then she really retired.
You have to understand why this is crazy, right?
Yeah.
Because in archery, we say that archery, the Korean Archery Association, is the most transparent organization.
Exactly. Yeah.
There is no favoritism.
Even you buy a $1 snack, they have to report to the association with the receipt.
So just because Kim Sun-young is like this legendary archer, they didn't give her the pass.
No.
That means she went through all the steps that she needs to go through in order to become a Korean representative Olympian. And she still went out there and won this. And I bet you she went back and be like, man, what's that bronze medal doing there? Should have been more gold medals.
Or she would try to collect all those 3.
She just wanted, she's like, all right.
She needed bronze. Okay,
I'm missing
this to 8.
I'm missing a bronze right now, so I'll take a bronze here.
Yeah.
No, archery, though, as you know, it's highly competitive around the world, but it's just Korea seems to always win, or they don't always win.
Yeah.
They mostly win, but they're always expected to win every single competition.
So think about soccer. The soccer you think about, of course, Brazil, Spain, or Argentina, or Germany, those strong countries. Basketball, Spain and United States. Ice hockey, Canada. When you hear some certain sports, then you obviously think of certain country. And for archery, for sure, it always has been Korea, because we are winning all the national competition and an Olympic as well. So it's just toughest league in Korea.
No, I think I like that comparison that you made. If you look into Olympics, it's kind of like having Team USA basketball team.
Team USA basketball or track.
Or track. Well,
Yeah,
track. I mean, you had Jamaica kind of like dominating for a while, but like basketball, it's like they had like 1 year where they lost, right?
Redeem team.
Right. The redeem team. The redeem team was after they lost, right? And so this is really, really good. This is a very competitive team that you're looking at, and it's very hard to become a Korean representative archer. We'll talk about that, all that and more. And we'll also look into the history of why Koreans are so good at archery. But first, let's take a short song break. This is ITZY with Untouchable.
건드려 눈앞을 가려보지만 내 발걸음 앞에 You're gonna know, you are gonna know 내가 뭘 하든지 now you just keep your eyes on me 난 못 건드려 절대 못 건드려 어디 날 한번 지켜봐 이미 난 몰아쳐 I'm on fire 나를 막는 건 누구든 내겐 아무런 의미 없을 뿐이야 Why not 난 자신 있어 뭐든 Show what I have 날 알수록 놀라워 멈출 생각 따윈 없거든 Here we go now I'm untouchable 막아서지 못해 시작됐어 지금 flow대로 Just going on and on Mess it up now 쉽게 나가 어떤 것도 I don't care about I'm untouchable 깨지지 않는 for Bam 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 body 막을 수 없어 nobody Bam 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 body Nothing goes down me no nobody 나만이 내 vision 끝나지 않을 mission 두려울 게 없다고 Yeah I gotta go Baby keep your eyes on me 뒤로 따윈 안 봐 난 끌린 대로 가 만족할 때까지 항상 내가 원한 길로 You know I'm not scared 이미 난 몰아쳐 I'm on fire 나를 막는 건 누구든 내겐 아무런 의미 없을 뿐이야 Why not 난 자신 있어 뭐든 Show what I have 날 알수록 놀라워 멈출 생각 따윈 없거든 Hey I'm untouchable 막아서지 못해 시작됐어 지금 flow대로 Just going on and on Mess it up now 쉽게 나가 어떤 것도 I don't care about I'm untouchable 깨지지 않는 for Bam 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 body 막을 수 없어 nobody Bam 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 body Nothing gonna stop me no nobody 더 크게 샤리라 겁날 게 없잖아 원해요 그대로 take it Bam 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 body Nothing gonna stop me no no nobody Hey nobody No one can stop me 한계 없이 run Here we go now I'm untouchable 막아서지 못해 시작됐어 나의 flow대로 Just going on and on Mess it up now 쉽게 나가 순 없어 I don't care about I'm untouchable 꺾이지 않는 phone Bum 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 body 막을 수 없어 nobody Bum 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 body Nothing gonna stop me no nobody Bum 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 body 막을 수 없어 nobody Bum 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 body Nothing gonna stop me no nobody
Hey! Stop looking at the clock! We still got more work at the Culture Inc.
And we're back in the studio with Ki Kim for Sports Culture Lab. We're talking about archery, while Koreans are so good in it. For any of our listeners out there, tell us if there's a certain sport that's not like basketball, football, baseball, those typical ball sports that your country is dominant in. Let us know. It's like rugby. No,
Rugby
not even
for
rugby.
England?
No, but then rugby, there's always a different winner. Cricket,
Korea used to be very strong at rugby in early 1980s.
in 80s, really?
In the 80s, 90s. Yeah, we were strong because, team sports, right?
Yeah.
You only needed a ball. So
Yeah.
those sort of sports we were good at, where we didn't much of the because we're strong. We might not be as big as like
Yeah, we're so
athletes.
small back then.
Yeah, but then we're strong and we're faster.
Ah,
and then we
fast.
know how to run on the muds.
Oh.
You know, that's another thing. So we used to be very strong back in those days. Yeah.
we knew how to run in the mud.
Muds. Yeah.
Now, Korea is not so good at rugby anymore,
anymore,
though.
yeah.
Not anymore. People often say Korea's strict merit-based selection system is the biggest factor into why they're so good, why it's so competitive. So let's talk about this.
So in Korea archery, the reputation does not mean anything. You know, so for example, like little kids from middle school, high school,
Yeah.
they can still beat adults and be the national team player. And recall, I think it was Kim Jae-deok.
Kim Jae-deok.
Yeah, Kim Jae-deok. I think he was only 18 or 17
He
when
was
he
younger
first,
than that. He was like in
Yeah.
high school or something like that.
Everybody remember him as like, yeah, you know, like that he's shouting and
Yeah.
then cheering. But yeah, so he was only 17 or 16 or something like that when he first made his appearance in the Olympics. So that's how it is. Like, we don't give him merit because you're a national player or you played
Yeah.
last Olympics. You have to go through the regular things and go do all the national championship, earn the points
Yeah.
to become the legit national player.
So they say that it's actually harder to become a South Korean national archer than to win the Olympic gold medal.
Exactly. That's
Because
what
it's
they
so
say.
competitive. You know, it's actually funny you mentioned Kim Jae-deok because you know how Kim Jae-deok started playing archery? He was, you know, he's a wild kid.
Yeah,
He's always screaming.
Yeah, he's
and apparently he had like
running around.
ADHD or something like that. He's always like running around, like he couldn't focus.
Oh.
And so they said, "You want to try archery? Maybe help you with focusing."
That's like how my mom made me do the calligraphy. 서예.
Because you were wild.
Because she thought I had ADHD. Because I'm all over the place. Like, I run around and I play this and I can't concentrate.
She should have just given you a handgun and see what.
Oh no! They don't know. Actually, you know what? I had a handgun, the the toy, and she just got rid of it. You know, BB gun. In the back of those, we had a BB gun.
Yes.
Because I was shooting I was actually good at it, and I was breaking every vice in my house.
You could have been the next Shin Jong-ho, but
Yeah.
no, that didn't
Or
happen.
before him.
Or
Before him
even
even,
before
yeah.
him, right? So you could have been competing with him.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean it's really really hard to become a national team archer, which way I mentioned earlier on. I mean I don't recognize some of the female archers because
No.
they change all the time. So here's the thing though. People try to imitate.
Yeah.
They hire Korean archers as coaches.
Right.
Right? Like Team USA has like a Korean coach. Like all these teams, like I think India also has a Korean coach too. The Korean training method is very, very unique and the systems very it's unbelievable.
But funny thing is, they
Yeah.
just hired a new director, the coach
Yeah.
for the national team, and he's not Korean.
He's not Korean.
No, I forgot where he's from, but he's not Korean.
I bet you, but then
yeah.
he doesn't need to coach. Like he just needs to organize the teams and like make decisions.
Exactly. Okay, think about baseball. How would you let's say you're a coach,
Yes.
right? How would you want to push your kid to play better?
Give him more money.
Oh, I did not think about that.
Hey, you want more money? You better be good. You see how much money Otani's making? You better be good.
Wow.
No, I don't know. I mean, everyone has a different sort of system.
Right. So what they do is they push as hard as you can for
Yeah.
the Korean national team for this archery. The coaches play loud noises like they constantly clap or all of a sudden clap, flash bright camera lights at them, distractions to simulate Olympics pressure. They also used high-end advanced technology.
Yeah.
So they have this high-speed camera which tracks down all the how the arrow is flying, artificial intelligence. You know, have you ever played Fortress, the game?
Yes, I did.
And remember, they had what angle it
Yes.
shoots the perfect and weighing like how much power you have to do.
Yes.
That's how micromanaging these teams are. They try to look at the exact angle and how much you have to pull, how long do you have to pull, when you stop breathing to release at the right time. All those things are being closely monitored. So it's very scientific.
The coolest thing is the heart rate thing because they try to keep it in a certain heart rate for all conditions.
So I think it started last Olympic where they started showing their heartbeat, heart rate, and they sometimes create artificial wind and the what do you call it, like the pressure. So and then the atmosphere. That's close to the real Olympic. Yeah. Because if you just do it inside, they get 10 out of 10 all the time.
There's no wind.
No wind. Yeah.
No. And so like they've done stuff like where they used to bring fans to the baseball stadium in Chamshi Stadium, and then the archers would practice there.
Right.
They'll create like rainy conditions. They'll make artificial wind that's like stronger than usual. Exactly. And they'll still be able to hit it. And so like when you're it's kind of like almost watching Shilmido. You ever watch Shilmido?
Yeah, of course.
Like those guys just go into Shilmido and they're trained like the hardcore training, and in the end they become like like crazy assassins. And it's the same way. They're going through everything, but their heartbeat doesn't change with every situation. And I think that's the best thing. But of course, we talked about transparency, and let's face it, not all association.
Well, unfortunately, we had hearings from the National Assembly. I'm not going to mention which sports, and apparently the sponsors are the same background.
Same background, different presidents, different.
Well, he's not the president anymore.
Well, he's not, right? But Korean Archery Association always gets high praise for what they do.
Because they set a high standard, and they should make a manual and then distribute to other associations around Korea. Okay, I'll be honest here. A lot of sports associations I'm not going to say they're all corrupted, but then they somehow are connected to like a commerce or like local businesses, whatever. But they're so transparent, the Korean Archer Association, and so they let players focus entirely just in sports. They don't have to worry about what they're going to wear, what brand they have to wear, or which archer bow they're going to use, because as long as it makes them comfortable, then they just do it, right? And they also even provide a psychological support so they can have a stronger mental mentality. And Chung Yi-sun, who is the chair of the Hyundai Motors, they officially supports the Korea Archer Association, and then he also personally supports as well. So I think it was the last time when they won the Olympic championship. They not from the Korean Archer Association, but Chung Yi-sun, voluntarily and out of his pocket gave some money to all the players and coaches.
To be honest, like Chung Yi-sung's pocket is very deep. So I mean, he's like one of the richest people in the country.
Deep cover that word deep cover?
No, you can't. It's not a pocket.
No,
it's not a pocket.
It's a huge hole.
Speaking of bow, there's an interesting story. I heard that there was I forget if it was like the French company or an Italian company that made really, really good bows. And they did not like the fact that Korea always won. So they refused to sell it to Koreans. And then a Korean company decided that they were going to make better bows. And now everyone wants to use the Korean bows because it's better.
And obviously, we are the best player, and we provide the best bow. Then they did a similar thing with skating too. Yeah, because Netherlands, they used to make the best skating. The skates. Yeah. And they're the one who came up with one of those things that drops.
It drops,
yeah. It drops. And then they refused to sell to Korean players because we're so good. But then now
Koreans make better ones. Now they want the Korean ones. Guys, we're going to talk about why Koreans are so good at archer. We're going to look into the history of this. But first, this is Monster X with Shootout.
Blow it. Waka 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 crawling. Waka waka waka. Waka 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 crawling. Waka waka waka. 201 high. Yeah. Excuse me, I'm walking like zombie. 누구 미치고 팔짝 뛰어 jumping 길이 기억해 손 모양 총 모양 블락카 블락카 꼬리들이 되어버린 난 너의 앞 chopper chopper Blow 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 keep blow blow you blow blow stop talking 떠나버린 감정을 터뜨려 주저없이다 pop 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 Never gonna stop this 너 망설임 없이 go 찾고 있던 끈도 이제 누구나 draw 반쯤 넉나간 채로 무거운 다리를 끌며 걸어 헤매난 어딘가 찾아가 누군가 네가 없는 황혼에서 새벽 발목을 움켜잡은 이건 이별 어둠 속에 위태롭게 휘청이고 있어 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 더 강하게 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 어차피 다 끝났다면 네 맘이 떠났다면 희망도 남김없이 버려 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 언젠간 온다니 그게 더 잔인하게 들려 어서 더 차갑게 Rolling Walker, walker, walker Walker, 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 crawling Walker, walker, walker I ain't what I am I ain't no risk privacy I can promise it Ooh, hold on, take your time Gonna make that rip it up like a piece 그릇탕탕 시작이야 바쁘게 떨리는 몸숨이 너무 가빠 들어라 바깥 들어가 바깥 구르는 몸 일으켜 세우기 지금 바빠 너를 보낸 그 후로 내 눈은 멀쩡한 곳이 없어 대처는 어딘가 그래도 너니까 네가 없는 황혼에서 새벽 발목을 움켜잡은 이건 이별 어둠 속에 위태롭게 휘청이고 있어 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 더 강하게 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 어차피 다 끝났다면 네 맘이 떠났다면 희망도 남김없이 버려 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 언젠간 온다니 그게 더 잔인하게 들려 어서 더 차갑게 Fire 지금 네 입으로 끝이라는 말을 네 심장에 써줘 Fire 이런 지옥 같은 희망을 끝내줘 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 더 강하게 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 어차피 다 끝났다면 네 맘이 떠났다면 희망도 남김없이 버려 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 날 위해 Shoot out, shoot out, shoot out 언젠간 온다니 그게 더 잔인하게 들려 어서 더 차갑게
Back in the studio with Ki Kim for Sports Culture Lab, and we're talking about why Koreans are so good at archery. Guys, I don't know if you guys, we're talking about this before, but it's one thing to shoot the arrow, but it's so far.
Yeah.
And so, like, people don't understand how far the arch, like, where the bullseye is.
So you go to some of the places where you can actually experience the real bow that's used in Olympics.
Yeah.
And then we also have this thing called daegung, which is like a Korean traditional.
Yeah.
It's curved out of like a real wood.
Yeah.
Right. And if you actually hold it, it's light.
Yeah.
It's not as heavy as actual daegung. But then for the amateur, daegung is easier because the arrow is a bit more
stiff.
Yeah, stiff, and it's a bit more heavier. So it's easier to actually shoot the arrow.
Because, like, if you see, like, the Olympic arrows, it wiggles.
It wiggles,
through
yeah,
the
because
air.
it's so light.
Yeah.
But once you try it, when you go to actual range, for the amateurs, it's shorter, like half a distance.
Yeah.
But the real one, I don't
is
think you can
far.
actually.
It
hit
is
'em.
far.
It is.
Let's talk history here because people often say that Koreans have a long tradition of archery. Is there some historical truth behind that?
So, I mean, we're in Korea. We have a lot of mountains, right?
Yes.
A lot of mountain means there's a lot of animals. And
Yes.
back in those days, we used to hunt.
Yes.
Not by the spear
Guns.
or not old
the
days.
olden days, they
yeah.
did.
We didn't use spear. We didn't use any blades or anything. We used to use bow, right?
Yeah.
So the mounted archers in the ancient Goguryeo kingdom were renowned for their skills. They had a set of army that's dedicated only for the archers. So we call it 주몽의 나라. And 주몽 actually in the ancient word means master archer. Right?
Person who shoots,
an arrow well. So, according to legend, Chumong, who actually established or built the Goguryeo kingdom, he was so good at archery, so they just named after him Chumong for the set of people, set of army who's so good at shooting the arrow.
Man, the whole time I thought Chumong was a person's name, just one person.
Well, it was name and slash. It also refers to
because there's a drama called Chumong.
Right. Yeah, the same guy. And during the Joseon Dynasty, archery was one of the most important subjects in the military civil service examination.
Yeah.
So remember, Lee Sun-shin, he was also very, very good archer.
Yeah. No, but think about it though. Like even like kings, right? You know, there's so many things that a king needs to go through before he becomes a king. Like there's a lot of studying that you need to do as a child. But archery is one of them. And then like if you see those historical dramas or movies, like they'll set up like wooden boards with like a tiger, a picture of a tiger,
like a
or
rabbit,
like a rabbit,
deer,
and they'll shoot it, right? And so like from like an early age, like this is it. But here's the thing, though. Then you can argue that England, which made football, should be winning the World Cup all the time. But they lost again. They couldn't win the World Cup again.
Peter, are you listening?
or you know, America made baseball.
Right.
But, you know, Japan seems to be doing better than America these days.
Now the best players are actually Japanese players.
Right. And so, like, can we really say that historically that has any, you know, significance? But some people also say that chopsticks play a big role in why Koreans are so good at archery.
You know, archery, you also have to feel with your fingers, right? And where to hold your arrow and how much strength you want to give. And, you know, the Koreans and many other East Asians, they use chopstick every day, and especially metal chopsticks in Korea, because metal chopsticks is much harder to hold anything, and it needs a really meticulous finger control, very precise finger control. So archery also depends on extreme fine finger movements. So that's another thing. We are naturally given that we're going to be better. We are better at archery because we use chopsticks.
Yeah, like when it comes to chopsticks, like it does require precision, which is why it's another argument that people make is that some of the best like world surgeons now are Koreans, right? When surgeons, they have to make these like precision cuts and like all these things. Like it requires
steady hands.
Steady hands, and we're used to it. But then you might be going, well, the Chinese and the Japanese also use chopsticks too. And yeah, they're good at archery too.
Yeah, they're good at archery. They're good at archery. And also in Korea, well, it's tradition. If you do chopstick well, then they tell you, oh, you're grown up from the like well-educated or well
I heard about that.
family. So that's also another thing. You know, that's why they focus so much energy and time on chopsticks.
Man, that's why my chopstick skills are terrible. They're also saying that Korean culture itself played a significant role in like why Koreans are good at archery?
I mean, we had always placed a strong emphasis on focus, discipline, and patience from a young age, right? And children who can quietly concentrate for a long period of time, not me, often encouraged and praised, right? And for archery, like you said, we need to have a steady heart rate. We need to really focus on, for it's a long period of time because you go from the preliminary round and you go to like round of 8, round of semifinal and final. It's a long period of time you have to concentrate. So those kind of education and socialing that we've been grown up, we've been growing as a child, that definitely helped.
No, like for our listeners out there, if there's one thing that a lot of parents focus on from like even in the olden generation is focus.
It's focus.
And so like even now, I remember my dad was like, my son Aaron, right? You should make Aaron go to a Paduk class.
Yeah, they always make them to. I do the same thing. Go. Right?
Yeah, I was like, why
Go
would he want to?
class.
I was like, Don, he goes to enough like Hagwon, so why does he got to go to like Go class, right? Paduk, and he's like, no, it helps you focus.
Right.
And so kids with like nowadays there's so many kids with ADHD.
Right.
And they can't concentrate, they can't focus, and they'll send them there. Or even like my kid didn't go there because of that, but I heard like kendo.
Yeah, kendo.
they send kids to go to Gumdo or Kendo because it helps you focus. And so,
Right.
like, my son goes into not because he can't focus. He's actually really good at focusing. But Koreans have long had this tradition, like, culturally, that you need to focus
Right.
in order to succeed in life.
So there's a funny saying that if you can't put your butt down on the chair longer, then your future wife changes.
Who said that? Did your mom tell you that?
No, there's a saying like you study longer, then
Yes.
how pretty your wife will be.
Every
depends
hour,
on how
every hour you study,
spend.
your wife's face changes.
Yeah, exactly. That's how we were growing.
No, but because I like this other thing because when it comes to like sports and competition, right?
Yeah.
Koreans generally, compared to other countries like in the Western, like we're smaller.
Right.
Physically, we can't compete with them physically.
Not really. Like there's always some of the few very talented people who do that. For
Right.
example, like soccer, Park Ji-sung, Son Heung-min, they're just unbelievable.
But they use speed to
Right.
overcome the physicality
Or strategy,
right?
yeah.
Or a strategy, right? Or they use their head, right? But in the same way, it's like, all right, if we can't beat them physically, then we could beat them with our mind or like with minds or just focus and things like that.
Yeah.
And so I think there's always been like even in like the society, right? We always talk about 얘는 집중을 못해, like he can't focus,
can't
or
focus.
that kid can't focus, or
No.
he focuses really well. Like one of the best compliments I heard you could get from like a teacher is that your child focuses well.
집중을 잘한다. So like this, okay, back in those elementary school years, right? Then you get the report every
Yeah.
year or every half a year.
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they write down 뭐 공부를 잘한다, 친구들과 친하게 잘 지낸다. And then the thing that I always got was 잘하는데 산만하다. I mean, 산만하 is like nicest way of putting he can't focus. He's
Yeah.
like everywhere.
Like he's
Yeah,
wild.
he's wild.
I can't focus, right? But again, that's like for a parent, it's like, they don't want to hear that. And so they put in through so many different like
So the things that I'm able
classes.
to go, like my parents made me do the calligraphy because
Yeah.
it's two purpose. When you draw a line with the Chinese letters, you just don't draw a line in like 1 second.
Yeah.
You have to take time and
Yeah.
then make the right movement with the right order. And also at the same time, you learn Chinese letters because a lot of, back in those days, even the newspaper had a Chinese letters. I had to memorize a lot of Chinese letters just to be able to read the Bible or the newspaper. So those are another things that made our older generation or parents made us to do, to focus.
But I like the fact that, again, I mean, this is, we're obviously doing something right with archery that the success continues on because, I mean, we could say that like Taekwondo, right? I mean, we
Right.
were so good at Taekwondo and now we're no longer the powerhouses when it comes
Not
to Taekwondo.
anymore.
We could say the same thing about like maybe like wrestling too now. Wrestling, we were once really good. Boxing, we were once like pretty good.
We had a lot of national, not in the heavyweights,
No,
but then the
lighter weights. Yeah,
Yeah.
but things change. But archery seems to be the one sport where it just doesn't change. Every year they're expected to win, and especially the women's team
Yeah.
is
Do you
better
think-
than any other teams in the world.
Do you think the women's team will win another 10 consecutive gold?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So win
it's
the
like-
whole entire century?
Yeah, I mean, just let's do this. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they've already done it 9 straight times. Like, why not? Like, what's different this time? They got much better players. That's the thing. It's not from like a previous year.
No.
Younger, better people who are proven that they're the best in the country. If you're best in Korea, that means there's a very good chance you're best in the world.
In the world, right.
Exactly. We talked about archery and why Koreans are so good at archery and why Ki and I cannot be an archer. That's for sure.
We could.
We can't. We can't.
Let's try it.
focus.
Let's try it next time. We go to one of the Taenung or well, you said you have a range in Anyang, so we'll go down there.
We're gonna kill somebody. We're gonna end up shooting somebody and then having to run off. And then I'm gonna blame
It's
you
your
for
hometown.
that. No. Anyways, have a fantastic rest of your week, and
Thank you.
we'll see you again next week.
I'll see you.
All right, sending them out of the studio. This is Girls' Generation with Hoot.